Hey, this is Kevin Cumbus from Tusk Partners. Thanks for joining us. And I've got Rachel Wall from Inspired Hygiene with me today. Rachel, thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so Rachel, you know that I spend the lion's share of my time really in the valuation and sales world for both large solo practices and groups.
Yeah.
And one thing we see in general dentistry is really trying to determine what the value of the hygiene department is. And I think about really two ways to look at that. One is, what's the simple profitability? What's the return on investment for the dollars I'm spending on my team, the hygiene department, and how many dollars am I getting in return? That's one, but I think there's a second layer to value, and it was really an undiagnosed periodontal disease.
I would say there are multiple layers. That is perhaps the next layer is undiagnosed. And so where the value comes from addressing that is most obvious in the production profitability piece, right? Periotherapy is hygiene's high production procedure. So if you think about crowns or implants or things like that for doctors, that is perio for hygiene.
Right.
The other piece of value that addressing that brings is reducing your risk in your practice.
Okay, help me understand that.
So if patients have undiagnosed periodontal disease, then you have increased risk for some type of liability for a patient going to another practice and that being diagnosed and them saying, well, why wasn't that ever addressed when I was a patient of yours? So that's certainly one layer. The other layer of value for the hygiene department is when they are teeing up treatment for the doctor. So they are looking in the patient's chart, before they see the patient and identifying what is the remaining treatment that's there.
Right.
And then sitting with the patient and finding out, do they have any immediate concerns right now? Okay, if not, what was already planned and how can I represent that treatment?
Okay, so I think what I've heard is so far is financial, which is return on investment on my costs, on the salaries and wages. 2 is clinical, right? So that's the periodontal treatment. 3 is operational, right? How are we sharing with the doctor what uncompleted treatment is? Are there others?
I think other value is the relationship building value, right? So keeping patients in their practice, retaining them by delivering great customer service and building those relationships. And that may be the most valuable of them all, right? Because as long as that patient is in your practice, you can address all those other points of value.
Yeah, it's interesting. We think about who has the relationship with the patient in these practices, and it's the front desk and it's the hygienist.
Yeah.
If you're a great patient of record and haven't had needed a lot of crown and bridge work or fillings, your relationship really lives with that hygienist.
Yes, and we addressed that in a video that we did with DeWalker about that, and I would encourage everybody to check that one out.
Yeah. For sure. Well, this has been interesting. Again, there's that immediate value, then there's the intrinsic value, and then the multiple layers to it.
Yep.
So for those of you who are looking at potentially buying a practice, don't be afraid to look at the valuation through these multiple lenses, because I think there's a lot more value that can be extracted from the hygiene department in a GP practice in thinking this way. Rachel, thanks for joining us. For those who want to learn more, how can they find you?
Yep, so they can go to our website, inspiredhygiene.com, or email me directly, and we can certainly set up some time to chat. Rachel@inspiredhygiene.com.
That's awesome. Rachel, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.